And make sure I'm on here. I am. All right. Now I'm going to share it everywhere. Make sure I'm on here. I am. All right. Now I'm going to share it everywhere. Make sure I'm on here. I am. All right. Now I'm going to share it everywhere. Make sure I'm on here. I am. All right. Now I'm going to share it everywhere. Okay, I had to mute myself so I don't have all this echo and background noise. Hello, everybody. Now, let's change the chat to live chat so I don't have... Okay. And I think I'm good. So I have a few people watching. And it's Friday night. Mr. Rockstar left to go to work about 45 minutes ago or so. Hello. And I thought I'd do a live chat. I haven't done a live chat in a little bit. I didn't do a coffee chat at the beginning of the week. Haven't felt good this week. So no coffee chat. I do have some video footage that I am editing to put up. And once I get it edited, I'm going to upload it here. But with NaNoWriMo right around the corner, literally right around the corner, and getting some things done with journaling and getting Patreon stuff done. I've been really busy when I have felt better. It's just been an off week. So I hope that everybody's doing well. I was in a live chat earlier with Babette. She did a live chat on YouTube. And it was so nice to just talk about journal stuff, to chat with other people, and the live chat portion of her video, and to hear her talking. It's really nice to talk about journaling and planning and things like that with other people. We get so sometimes journaling and writing and art and stuff like that, they're really solitary endeavors for the most part. I can be in a coffee shop and I can be writing or drawing or painting or even reading. And even when other people are around me, it's still something you are doing yourself. So it's really nice to interact with other people and to talk about some of the things when it comes to writing or art, journaling, planning. It's really nice to be able to talk to other people about stuff like that. So I don't know how many people we have in here. Let me make sure I have shared it everywhere I'm supposed to. And I think I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so if it buffers just a little bit, we are having really rainy weather here. It is about 7 o'clock in the evening here where I'm at. I'm on the East Coast in the South. So in the U.S., South Carolina's, we've had some kind of yucky weather today. So it might buffer just a little bit. Our internet tends to be a little wonky when we have bad weather. But I'm pretty excited. I've been switching some things around on and off over the last couple of months, trying to figure out what I want to do for next year, what I want to do for this last quarter of the year. This month has been sort of trial and error. I've been back and forth between the Hobonichi and my DIY. You were driving. Oh, well, yeah, you don't want to text while you're driving. But I've been back and forth, and I took a look through some of my old Omni journals and some of my old creative bullet journals. And I looked, and quite a few of them have this last section of the journal blank. Or there's some stuff in the back, but then there's not much, because I get to this hump part. And when it gets really chunky, this one's not so bad, but when it gets really chunky, I tend to go to a new journal. And I was thinking, I'm wasting all this precious paper. Hello. I'm wasting all this precious paper when I do that, because these journals are 68 GSM Tumaway River paper journals. And I think that's one of the issues that I have with the Hobonichi A5 when I get it the whole way, the whole book, is that it tends to get, I like a chunky journal, but the chunkier that it gets, the harder it gets to work in. And that's why this time around I switched to using the Breeze, and I just separated them. So I have one that I do like I do the actual daily planning kind of stuff in. And then I have one that I do the actual like note taking in. For notes for videos and things like that, notes about what I'm doing, all different kinds of things. So what happens and I just switched this because I have a Hobonichi that's blank. I had used it as a creative bullet journal for a while, but because it was blank, I was having to cut out pieces of dot grid paper to put in places where it actually needed more structure, because I'm not drawing all those little tiny dots and grids and everything. But I really enjoyed using it, but this is the blank Tumaway River paper, and I want to start using this for doodles. And so that's what I've kind of rearranged a few things so that this folio is more about my doodles. So when I do create PDFs for, like I did this back in April, and this was April's, and I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff, but for the bullet journaling, it actually works better when I have dot grid or grid. It's beautiful, beautiful paper, the blank. It's great for art. So I decided, since I have all this paper back here, to use it to doodle in, and when I create PDFs for that kind of art doodling stuff, so that I can on occasion make some stickers from my little drawings and stuff. And so I've just changed a few things around. And as I endeavor to close out October, I talked about this on Patreon, but I've been thinking about what I really want to do for next year. And I could go budget friendly. I could either make my own, or I could just, because this one won't be full, I don't think, by the time I get to the end of the year. It may, but I'll definitely need another one. But I've been debating about getting the Cousin AVEC, putting a Breeze in the front and the AVEC, putting a Breeze in the back and the AVEC in the front of my Hobonichi cover. I don't buy a new cover when I get them. I always use this one because this is that gorgeous red leather with the natural kind of leather that's patinaed. Yeah, I'm live. So I have debated, because I don't know if I want to spend the money on the Hobonichi or not. Do I want to go DIY? I know I'll be using B6 because I'm making my own journal again next year. So I know I'll be using B6 for my art journal. I like the B6. I have sketchbooks that are much bigger that I can use for bigger pieces of art. But for my regular, like everyday kind of stuff. So I practice doing some of the stuff in here, and then this coming week, it'll be going in the Hobonichi. I've been kind of flip-flopping back and forth to figure out what I want to do. But I was never really one of those people who wanted to switch traveler's notebooks up for the season. I do switch purses usually, but I haven't been lately, not since I got the Whipping Post tote. But I am finding myself wanting to switch traveler's notebooks for the season. For the seasons, I should say. So now I'm like, maybe that's the key when I get a little bored, when I get a little like in a journal funk. So I've been thinking about a lot of that, and everybody's doing these videos about 2019. People have gotten their Erin Condrens, then there's the people who are getting the Hobonichis, and people that are doing the bullet journal stuff. They're going over stuff and what they want to use, and like sometimes people color code their years, or they color code. Like one year they'll use all blues or all reds. For like the Leustrums. I like the paper okay in the Leustrum, but I don't like yellow paper. I like white paper. So I've never really been a big fan of the Leustrum because it's the yellow paper. When Taroko Design does the Enigmas in the yellow, I don't really get them. I've gotten them, but I don't care for it. I like the white Tomaway River paper better. And I do like both 52 and 68 GSM, but for my daily journaling, I like the 68 for the art. And then for the writing and the planning, I like the 52. You can't figure out what your planner is for 2018. Yeah, I've got this. Let me show you something. I've actually got this that this really cheap that I found. It's for work. One of the pages actually fell out. So it is, when I tell you it's really cheap, I do mean it's really cheap. This for work. It's almost like a bullet journal planner. But I have been thinking, so here's like, it was clearanced and it's not dated at all. And I have actually thought about taking the pages out of this and putting it together for the B6 stuff, because I love the way that this looks, but I don't like spiral bound stuff. You use an Erin Condren for 3 years and discovered TNs and have never looked back. I love the Traveler's Notebooks. I am a notebook person. I'm not an insert person. I'm more of a notebook person. So when I use the Hobonichi, I think I'm going to go back to the AVEC, like I said, because I like it better. That was what I used in the very beginning. But the Breeze notebook, this one's kind of chunky. So this one, let me take the pen board out. This is more like an insert than a big, thick, chunky notebook. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I like the thick, chunky notebooks. But this is only 183 pages. So if I plan things out right, I should have one of these per quarter. So instead of 2 or 3 notebooks, the big, thick notebooks a year, like I usually use 2 or 3 notebooks in a year. So, hello. So this would be like 4, maybe 5 in smaller notebooks for a year. I've tried Paper Penguin Co. I think that's what they're called, and I like hers. But I love this. I love this 68 GSM Tomaway River paper. So, and I do art in there too. For example, this is my November, my Hello November page. I know I hardly ever use orange, so I used a red orange because that's what color my adult typewriter is. My kid typewriter that I got as a kid is red, but my adult one's that red that has an orange undertone. But I thought, you know, I like this. And because it's NaNoWriMo, like, I get to be creative with the bullet journal, and I use the bullet journal for things that I can't do in the Hobonichi. But the Hobonichi is my core planner. You're journaling in an A5 Nanami Studio Note. I have not tried the Studio Note yet. I was using Nanami paper 7C's notebooks for forever. I haven't gotten a Sojourner Folio yet. I would love to have one, but I haven't been able to. I can't afford one yet. You like the vampire Snoopy? Yeah, I love that. I did a video of that where I did these. So just, you know, I don't have anything like, let me get to this week. This is this week right here. So I thought, why not do typewriters and notebooks and Snoopy stuff, which is easy and fun and stuff I love. Books, notebooks, Snoopy. I have some Snoopy washi tape. And I thought that would be great for NaNoWriMo, you know. So I've been thinking, do I want to continue to do that, you know, or get an Enigma, the thicker notebook for my notes and put it, say, in here, just by itself for actual notes, because I do a lot of note taking. Thank you. I do a lot of note taking. If you like, so when I started, I've been flip-flopping back and forth between the Hobonichi and this. I did like different things. I didn't do I haven't really used that at all this time. I didn't use the trackers at all. I've been doing it on a daily basis and I haven't really used it. I didn't use this to track my videos at all. I did keep looking back at this, which was really fun to do. So I've been doing a bunch of different things, trying to figure out what I really like, what I really want to do, because this is, I've been doing a combination of things. Like, what do I want to use stickers? Do I want to do some daily drawings? Do I want, what do I really love doing? But there's a lot of note taking. A lot of note taking. That was fun. That was last week. So I enjoyed that. Victor liked that too. He thought that was cute. He said, "Mimi, that's you on the moon." So that's where I've been at lately, is trying to kind of figure out, do I want to, you know, use up some of the stuff that I have, on occasion draw a little thing, you know. And then this is today and yesterday. I have a lot of stuff that are on Post-it notes for this right here. Oh, hold on. I will be right back. Give me 1 second. I took my journal in the living room to show David something. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so this is the B6 setup. And I have a little B6 calendar. And then I have what I consider to be my document my day notebook. And then my illustrate my day notebook. And I made this one myself. And I'm going to do that same thing for next year, where I do things like, well, this is the advice from a pumpkin. This was the scene from my coffee mug that I'm actually drinking out of right now. And we've had ants all over our yard. So I drew the ants. And I really enjoyed that. That was fun. So I do this kind of stuff in there. And do I have any balloons? I don't know. I don't have any balloons right now. I like I like doing different things depending on the mood I'm. Sometimes I like to collage. Sometimes I like to. Sometimes I only want to draw. Sometimes I like adding pictures. It really just depends. But the thing that I love most, I think, is doing a combination of things, because anything that includes art and words. And art can be anything from something I draw to something I take a picture of to collage stuff I put in. It could really be anything. I like doing different things. So it makes it more fun, I think, when you can change up things. But sometimes if you change up too much, then you get a little lost in the shuffle, and I don't want to get lost in the shuffle. I've done that. don't want to do that again. So like I said, I got this really little cheap planner, and it even has little stickers in the back, y'all. It even has little stickers in the back. And I think for my videos, so I don't have to put all that stuff in my planner anymore, I'm going to do that, is do this for a little bit, since it was only like $2. And I'm going to see if it will work for the videos, for goal setting and keeping up with videos and things like that. And I may take it, like I said, out of here and see about binding it to put it in, to make it like a B6 size notebook, because this is what size it is. It's actually B6. So I don't know. I've been changing things around. Just kind of flip-flopping back and forth between a variety of things. I think I might try this out in November, because this would stay at my desk. This wouldn't go anywhere. It would stay open to whatever week or month I'm on. And then that way it would just stay open on the desk. Yeah, fire ants. Yes. Yeah. And they are awful, 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 awful. And we cut the grass, and then we killed some. And of course, then we ended up with them elsewhere. They ended up having piles elsewhere. So we went online Googling, trying to find something that would work, because we bought this spray from Lowe's or hardware store, and it worked to kill that ant bed, but then they went somewhere else. I think that one might have either come from Walmart or from Walgreens or from Dollar General. You know, it was one of those three places. I just happened to see it on their clearance rack. I don't know that they meant to have it that cheap, but it was. So I like the idea of the Erin Condren, but I have trouble with anything that's bound with a spiral or arc or whatever. I like bound books. I don't do well with rings or spirals or any of that kind of stuff. I don't like how, because I tend to lean over, and when I'm doing my work, and that middle part, having the rings or the spirals, even if they're plastic, get in my way. I don't like the way that they feel. I think it's an OCD touchy-feely thing for me. It's a sensory thing. So, but the fire ants keep coming back. They keep coming back. And when Victor's over here, my grandson, he comes, I usually get him 2 days a week in the afternoons when he gets out of school, on Wednesdays and Fridays. And playing in the yard is near to impossible when every time you turn around, you have to watch for the ant beds. So we found out that regular household vinegar will work. So I'm going tomorrow to Aldi's, and I'm going to Walmart, and I'm going to pick up the groceries. And while I'm out, I'm going to get 2 big things of vinegar, and we're going to put it in the spray thing. And I'm going to see if that will work to get rid of the ants, because when we did some research on Google, that said that it would kill ants. So I'm going to try regular household vinegar. I use it to clean with anyway, so I'm going to try it. Okay, make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, okay, back to the Nanami Studio Note. I would love to try one of them. I would love, hey, Brandy. I would love to try the Nanami Studio Note thing. That's 52 GSM. So, like I said, I like planning and doing regular journaling in the A5. But I like the A5 for my creative bullet journal stuff. I mean, not that I couldn't do this in a B6. I could. But I don't have enough room to write, and you don't have enough room to do other things. And that was so fun, doing Snoopy. I mean, I'm going to try the tracking one more time. You can also use rice. They take it back to their hive, and they can't digest it. Well, you know what? I got a real big bag of rice, and I'll get another bag of rice, and I will use rice. I heard you could use grits, but grits didn't work for me. So I'll try rice. If I could afford to, I'd buy one of those wheelbarrows that you put the stuff in, and you just walk all over the yard with it. But I've got this real big spray bottle. I might use rice and vinegar. You just got a call that you have to get dressed and go into work just to print out an email. Oh, man, I'm sorry. That sucks just because you have to print an email. Ugh. Thanks, you too. I might be on here for a while. Usually when I do these, because it's still kind of early, sometimes these last anywhere from an hour to 2 hours. So I've only been on here for like 20 minutes. So if it doesn't take you too long, I might still be here, Cheryl. But I might try rice and vinegar. Maybe I'll try the rice in the front yard and the vinegar in the backyard. I can't do anything right now because we have rain. So, but I'm going to go tomorrow, and I'll get a real big bag of, we eat jasmine rice, but I'll buy a bag of regular white rice and try it. So yeah, I really want to do, I think, if I slim everything else down, excuse me, if I slim everything else down, this is the plain the plain Enigma for me to doodle and do PDFs. And then, like I said, I don't buy new covers when I do get the Hobonichi because I love this cover. And the only cover that's ever really tempted me is this new one with the alphabet on it. I like the one with the alphabet on it. But I think the Avec, that's what I originally started with, was the Avec. The very first Hobonichi I had was the Cousin Avec, and it was for the end part of the year, the second one. I started it, I think, over the summer that year. But I have debated, and I think my problem was last year I spent so much money on all this Hobonichi stuff that I didn't end up really using very much. And then I felt guilty. But I've spent a lot of time in this one doing a lot of different things. And I kind of finally figured out my groove with it. Really, really figured out my groove with it. And even in this, it's been set up like the Hobonichi. So my daily pages, for example, here, let's go to one where you can actually see how I have the daily page set up. Okay. So like even here, it's set up sort of like the Hobonichi. Hello. And it's been working really well. I like it, and I think the Avec. So if I don't get all the other stuff that I don't need, that I probably won't use, as much as I love the way the Weeks looks and the way that it could, my handwriting is so big, I don't do well with the Weeks. I like the A6 and the A5. I really wish Hobonichi had a B6, because that would be my dream setup. Would be my dream. A5, B6. But I'm finding that I really do enjoy the A6. And I'm using it for a whole different purpose now. So if I had the money, I'd get the A6 English version and then the A5 cousin AVEC. But I don't know that I have the money to get the English version and the A6, so I'm probably just going to get the AVEC cousin. I have debated. I've talked about this on Patreon until I feel like I'm sick and tired of talking about it. But every time I think, oh, well, you could just do creative bullet journaling. Then I think about how much time and what if I get bored. And to be honest, doing my bills and birthdays and events that other people have going on, I work much better with that kind of planning and the Hobonichi. I don't know. I feel like that's the way. Like, I did really well there. Really well. Haven't done that kind of stuff here. I missed doing that. So I've highlighted some stuff, and then I'm going to use some stickers. I'm going to set November up because it is it is NaNoWriMo, y'all. Have you talked to the company directly? No. Hobonichi's like a major company. I could get the B6 Slim Jibun Techo, but I'm not a big B6 Slim person. Now, I could get the A5 Slim Jibun Techo, but it's not the weekly that I really like. So, I don't know. I have debated over just finding another little B6 Snoopy calendar like this one. I don't even know. This is Peanuts Worldwide LLC Delfino, made in China. So I don't know, y'all. I'm ready to figure it out. So I've got a week and a half before I make my order. I'm going to be making my order at the very beginning of November for part of it. And then the other part I'll be ordering the very beginning of December. And I'm just ready to just go ahead and decide one way or the other, what do I want to do. And so this coming week, I'm going to go back to the Hobonichi. This past week, I've used nothing but the actual do-it-yourself creative Hobo Amjo. It's sort of a combination of a Hobonichi because I have it set up like a Hobonichi in the front. I have the calendars in the front. Like here's October. And then it goes from the calendars to the weekly. And then from the weekly to the daily. But then in the back in the dailies, I have it set up like I'm setting up that part more like a bullet journal. So I've kind of been back and forth. You tried to find a monthly calendar at the Dollar Tree for your personal size, but they changed them to weekly. Yeah. I found a monthly. They don't have them anymore. Now they've only got the weekly ones. I need a monthly calendar. But my husband got me this for 2019. Last year, he got me the one that's on the wall behind me. This one's not as big. But look at how cute. So I think instead of hanging this on the wall behind me, I'm going to hang it back over here in front of where my desk sits. Say Fortnite. No, I haven't gotten Ryder's new book. I would like to get it. It's on my wish list. But So I'm going to hang this back up on the wall. Because this is where I put all the family stuff, usually in that calendar, and doctor's appointments. You're sub to, I don't know what. I missed something. Okay. Yeah. I got rid of the troll. I deleted the message, but there we go. Okay. I think I got rid of them altogether. All right. I think, yeah, they're gone. Oh, to have so much free time to just pop around. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a real big channel. I have, well, I was right at almost 3,000. Now I'm back down to like, I still need like 60 people or so, a little bit over 60 people to hit 3,000. So I don't even have quite 3,000 subscribers. So I'm not a super small channel like the other one I just opened, but I'm not a big channel either. So I don't know why. I don't even know how people find my channel when I go live like that. I have no idea. No idea how people. Do you know how many people are on YouTube right now? Probably how many people who are on YouTube right now? So I'm not even sure how they find. But I feel like I'm in a much better headspace about planning this coming year than I was last year when I planned for this year. I was all over the place last year because my dad had died and I had had such a journal slump trying to get back into the journaling and the planning. I spent more money than I should have, got more stuff than I really should have, and I didn't use it all. Did you get? Yeah, for those of you who have gotten Writer's Book, how do you like it? What do you think about it? You're loving it? Did you order it from Amazon or from his website? I'm thinking I have Amazon Prime. It might be cheaper to get it from Amazon Prime. Yeah, I can see the thing buffering. Amazon pre-order. I'll have to look and see how much it costs. Because I would really like to get it. But I love books. My husband would tell you, I need a whole bookcase. I've got stacks of books in the purple room. I've got stacks of books in here. I've got books. I've got a bookcase in every single room except our bedroom in the house. And in our nightstand, it has this open square underneath a drawer. And I have books in that open little square part. I have books in there. I have books everywhere. And I mean, you got to figure I'm 51 and I've got books. The books that are up here, well, there's one book up there on the wall. It's a Snoopy book. I've had since some books I've had since I was in elementary school, since I was 7. think, yeah, I got that one book when I was 6 or 7 years old, because it was one of the last things that my daddy bought me before he died. And I've got my collection of C.S. Lewis's paperbacks from when I was in like 4th grade. So I've been collecting books for a really long time. I just went through, as a matter of fact, some books to see. I was looking for the one book, that Your Best Year Yet, not by the lady who did the stuff that so many other people were talking about. This is by a different lady. Because I wanted to get it out so I could reread it again the end of this year. Before I make my definitive goals for next year. And I'm trying to figure out like my word for next year. And I start thinking about that kind of stuff now, because I'll ponder it on and off during the month of November. But November is so busy with NaNoWriMo and trying to keep up with everything else that I don't make any definite plans about it. I just kind of mull it over, so that in December, that's usually when I definitely make up my mind to do that. But I've been trying to find a word, because next year I want it to be more about following my inner compass. So I don't think inner compass is a good word. But I think that's where I'm headed. I could use the word compass for next year, but that's kind of where I'm headed, is that sort of following your own path, following your inner compass, your intuition. I like the inner compass reference. If I could find a word that really was just one word that kind of captured the essence of following your inner compass, then that would be my word. Right now, I'm stuck on inner compass, though. And then Jamie Riddler came out with her video, of course, this morning, and I watched her video, and she was talking about your inner compass, and I'm like, this is, it just felt really synchronicitous, or filled with synchronicity. Yeah, I love Jamie. I would like to subscribe. I am subscribed to her studio thing, but I'm not I haven't paid like I would like to do that. I think that might be one of the things I'm going to do. While I have some people following and people who are going to be coming back to watch the live replay, I have been talking to my patrons about some things. I just had to redo my website. I am no longer going through Bluehost. And then in December, my domain comes up again. Hello. And I have to Bliss. I like Bliss. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all of my old stuff back from the website, but I've gone with WordPress. It's less expensive. And when I renew the domain, I'm going to see if I can renew it through WordPress. But I also am going to cancel Constant Contact, which is how I do the newsletter. And I think what I'm going to do is once a month, I'm going to do a public post with a picture, or a public post with a video. That'll be an unlisted video, but it'll be a public post on Patreon, instead of doing a newsletter. Because that feels like it would be a lot. Or I may do an unlisted video and do a public post with a blog post with pictures on my website. And then I'll just share that on like Twitter and Instagram or whatever. I think I'm just going to do it that way. Because I can't afford the money every month for the newsletter, and the newsletters become more stress. And I really am the end of this year and next year, I am now putting my writing as a top priority, because I just don't have enough time to create videos for 2 YouTube channels and videos for Patreon and blog posts and do my own writing and do my own journaling and my own art and clean the house and spend time with Victor and my family. It's just too much, because I am pretty much doing a video almost every single day. If I were to stay on the schedule, now this week that didn't happen because I didn't feel good, but I still have my videos that have been going up on Patreon. And which is why I wanted to do the live chat this evening, because it's really important that I not get burnout. I really want to know about Jamie's studio program. I know that a couple of people who are part of her, what is it called? You know, where you get that planner thing. Some people do the printable one. That's a better idea. Less stress for me is always good. Less stress for all of us. You're right, Sherry. It's always good. But I think as long as it has a personal aspect to it, whether I do a blog post or a Patreon post and I do it public, it's still personal. It's not just another YouTube video. If I had YouTube community, it would be so much easier, but I don't have the community yet. I don't have, I don't know if I don't have enough subscribers for it, or I don't know. But once I get the YouTube community dashboardy thing, it would make it a lot easier. But it's okay. I want to start putting more stuff on my Journey with Burgess Facebook group. I'm not a big prompt person, like for daily prompts. I try and I can do them sometimes, but then I get real busy and I get to the point where I'm like, instead of doing a prompt, I'd rather document my day, or I'd rather do something that I feel like really inspired to do. So prompts don't always work real well for me. I start out really good and I used to do them, but I find less and less that I want to do prompts, and more like I want a general idea, like a prompt idea, like a theme for the month. Mindful, self-aware, you're not reacting, but rather in control of your experience. Yes, 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 exactly. So I think I'm going to start having a one word theme for the month, and I'm going to pick it for each month, and then that will be sort of a prompt, and you can take it however you want to. You know, you could journal about it. You could take pictures of words pictures of things that symbolize that word, or you could draw things, or whatever, you know, be creative about it. It could even be a word that you used in your writing or blog post or whatever. I want to come up with a word for each month that means something important, and it's sort of seasonal. So like for the quarter, for this quarter, October, November, December, for October, it could have been the word harvest. Or it could have been, or even next month could be the word harvest, or next month could be the word gratitude. For people who are in the U.S., Thanksgiving is supposed to be a day that you are thankful. So, you know, the word gratitude could be November. Just one word. Well, I need to block you. I hate trolls. But I think I like the idea of having that one word for each month, you know. And then you don't have to, you know, in the group, you don't have to pick my word. You can pick your own word. You know, everybody can do their own thing. But I like, for myself anyway, I like the idea of having a word to sort of concentrate on, that be mindful of something every month and change the word every month. I like the idea of gratitude for November. And roll with that, you know. And then I could also pick some other, like I have the writing and the books and the Snoopy sort of theme for next month. I picked Snoopy because I can draw Snoopy and enjoy drawing Snoopy and draw Snoopy doing different things. I could use some of my Snoopy washi tape. I could use some of my fall type washi tape. I don't have any more book washi tape or typewriter washi tape. So if I want to draw those, I want to put that in, I have to just draw my own. But I like the idea of kind of changing things up every month. That's one of the things I like about the bullet journal, is that you can pick a different theme for each month. Like this month was pumpkins and Halloween stuff and, you know, stuff like that. I had that kind of theme, the Halloween pumpkin kind of theme. And then I like doing, I think that's what I originally, when I set up October, actually, I think October was the planets originally. Yeah, it was the planets originally. And I've kind of ended up, yeah, I had a troll. I deleted him, so he should be gone now. I blocked him. But I had the planets, and I have, as we've gotten closer and closer to Halloween, gone from the planets to pumpkins. But then when I did, you know, and then Snoopy. So I don't know, but I prefer to kind of stick with a theme. I really enjoy changing things up, though. I'm not one of those people who because of the ADHD, maybe I get bored. If you need a mod, feel free to mod me so you can boot. Okay. I don't even know how to do that. Let's see. See if I can add moderator. Okay. You are now a moderator, Delina. But I think there was a point in time where I hated to do much change. Like I wanted to get something and I wanted it to be set in stone. But then because of the ADHD, I find myself being distracted easily sometimes, bored really easily sometimes with certain things. Like if once I've mastered it, or once I get to a point where I've done it quite a bit, then it starts to feel kind of monotonous. And I like to learn and change things. So I don't mind changing things if I get to a point where it gets a little boring, or when I feel like it's time to kind of change things up. So like some notebooks I started out for like a certain purpose, and now I've switched them. And then once I've switched it and I end up using it for like something that's more personal, then it works. I didn't get tested for ADHD. I have anxiety and depression. I've had it for a long time, and about 15, let me think, about 10 or 11 years ago, for 10 years, I was misdiagnosed with bipolar. And about 10 years ago, I was at the doctor's office, and I was telling him that I didn't like being on all the medicine, that the medicine, sometimes they were counteracting each other. It was having different issues, but they were similar to the issues that from the beginning. And it felt like whenever I took this medicine, it made my ADHD worse. And whenever I took the other medicine, it made my anxiety worse. And I was talking to my doctor, and then I talked to the therapist that same day, and then they met and they reviewed notes. And then when I came in for my next appointment, my doctor, she was a really great doctor. She said, I believe you've been misdiagnosed. She said, I've watched your behavior and I've had the therapist watch. She said, you are fidgety and steady bouncing my leg and stuff like that. You could tell when you watch my videos when I'm more anxious because I'm more fidgety. And some of that's the ADHD and some of it's the anxiety. And so she gave me some things. I guess it was kind of a test. She asked me some questions. She wrote a bunch of answers. She watched my body language. And over the period of about a month or so, between going to see her once a week and then going to see the therapist once a week, it was determined that I did not have bipolar, that what I actually have is anxiety, depression, and ADHD. My brother got diagnosed with ADHD in elementary school, but back in the 70s, late 70s, mid 70s, late 70s, early 80s, girls didn't really get diagnosed with ADHD much. My daughter just got diagnosed with it. And it presents itself sometimes differently in males and females. And once you get older, it presents itself differently. But I have two different kinds of anxiety. And then I have, I have regular depression, and then I get seasonal depression, which just makes the regular depression worse. But the ADHD, I've kind of learned to deal with for the most part. But I find that when I start getting antsy, when I start feeling restless, usually it's because I'm starting to get a little bored. I need something a little bit different to hold my interest. It's why I've talked about for a long time, I need structure, but I still need some freedom to be creative and to be impulsive and spontaneous with my planning and my journaling. I need structure, but not too much structure. It's why, like with outlining, I like using the hero's journey because it feels like a completely different kind of way to outline. I'm more character-driven writer. So I like using the hero's journey, and I'll kind of think about the 3-act structure, and I have it planned out in my writer bullet journal. I have a little diagram, and I'll kind of notice, did I hit this? Did I hit this point? Do I have an actual plot point? Do I have tension? But I don't go into really in-depth and detail outlining. Like, I don't outline scenes. I don't outline scenes at all. I give a basic summary of about anywhere from 1 to could be 8 sentences about each chapter. You know, this is what I need to happen in this chapter. And then usually it has to do with the character's goal, motivation, and conflict. And it has to do with the whole plot of the book and how the book needs to build in tension. And I just kind of have a little bullet point. Did I cover this, this, and this? Because my character needs to go through these things. And then the other people in the story need to go through this stuff to get to here, because the next chapter is going to be about this. And usually it's, like I said, it could be anywhere from 1 sentence to, I don't know, 8 sentences or 10 sentences. It's just a little summary of what needs to happen, the main points that need to happen in that chapter. And how I get to that is all up to me. I'm not doing such an in-depth outline that's so detailed that says, well, she opened the door and this happened. You know, I'm leaving a lot of it up to my imagination, to how at heart I'm a pantser. So some of it really needs to come from my imagination. I'm just kind of giving, you know, it's like when you are going to go somewhere and you say, okay, well, today I'm going to get in the car, I'm going to pack a bag, and I'm going to go travel. And I know I want to head east. So I'm going to get on the interstate and I'm going to go east. And I can drive approximately, I don't know, 100 or 200 miles because I have to be back by the end of the weekend. So I can't go too far because I want to be able to hang out for the weekend, but I don't have an actual destination. I know I just want to have some fun and relax this weekend. So, and I want to get out of town. So some people can do that. Other people can't. I could do that. I could actually say, okay, I'm going to drive for, I don't know, 2 hours, and I'm going to head east, or I'm going to head west, or I'm going to head north, or I'm going to head south. And this is based on whichever direction I want to go. I'm going to pick an interstate or a highway, and then I'm going to drive for, I'll give myself approximately an hour, and within that hour time frame, it could be 45 minutes or it could be an hour and 15 minutes. The place that I see that I like, I'll stop at. Or, oh, excuse me, my allergies are killing me. Or I could pull up a map and say, okay, I want to go here, or I want to be in this general area. And I could go and just drive. And then, stop wherever I want to head. I want to head to Charleston, but I don't have any idea of where exactly I want to go, or I want to go to Greenville, or I want to go to Columbia, or I want to go to Beaufort because I'm in South Carolina. So, I could look at the map and say, okay, I can drive for an hour. Which direction do I want to go? And if I say I want to go west, then that means Columbia. If I wanted to go north, I could go to south of the border where North Carolina and South Carolina meet. You could do, any number of things. But that way it leaves me open to do a bunch of different things without feeling too closed in, because for some reason, the more I can use my imagination, the better. Hurricane season is not over. Hurricane season won't be over for a long while. I didn't see any personal size at all at my Dollar Tree. I saw B6 and then A5. I didn't see any monthly or weekly at my Dollar Tree. But I haven't been back in about a week or two, so when I go tomorrow, I'll look and see too. The personal is the regular little pocket calendar size. So I don't know, it just depends. I think I like to change things up, and I realized finally and accepted that about myself, because for a long time I kept beating myself up over wanting to change journals or change planners, and it didn't work. Beating myself up over something that actually makes me feel better and keeps me motivated and inspired and interested. Why beat yourself up over that? I'm gonna have to take an allergy pill when I get done with this video. Thank you, living in the South. So I don't know. I'm still feeling like the flip-flopping back and forth. Like I said, I have a week left to kind of figure out what I'm going to do. So I feel really good. So this week I'm going to primarily be using the Hobonichi to do my main planning. I've still been using it to do my bill planning. I've actually been keeping it to do my bills and stuff. So I like changing things up. And I think using something that's structured for the core things that don't really change, but then I can do other things in it that help me keep it interesting, is helpful, if that makes sense. And the AVEC is better for me. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm feeling the need to change up colors. What am I using the Omni Journal for? Well, I guess it depends on your definition. This would be what a lot of people would consider to be an Omni Journal, because I do create art in it. I do take notes in it. I do plan in it. I do a lot of different stuff in it. So mostly it's become a catch-all for things as well as a planner. And I create art sometimes in it. Yeah, it's got goal setting in it. It's got some drawing and collage stuff in it. I never did watercolor that though. It's got, like I said, it's got a little bit of all kinds of things in it. But what happens is it becomes sort of a catch-all during the day because it sits on my desk and I write in it as I go. Different than document your day. Yeah. That's sort of a document my day kind of thing, but that's more for the planning and the taking notes and stuff. When I document my day, okay. So for example, this is a really good example of document your day because I also illustrate my day sometimes. Document my day would be where I could actually draw, post pictures, do collage bits, do ephemera, washi tape. This has all kinds of things in it. This is a document my day. I did watercolor. I did writing and journaling. I also added some everyday ephemera because I went to the grocery store and I had to buy some stuff and I put those down. It was raining like crazy. So I did that. I watched a documentary about Hawaii's volcano eruptions on Amazon Prime. And I did what looked like the volcanoes. I watercolored that in the background. And then this is a document my day. This would be a document my day. Like I tend to do the pictures and the tip-ins and things like that. I do document my day. It's just a different kind of document my day. The way that I document my day in the Omni Journal or the Hobonichi is pretty much the same thing. Let me get to a page in here where it shows you. Okay, this is how I actually document my day. Sometimes when it comes to the planning, like I'll take notes about what I did. You know, like it'll say, here's a good one for that what I did in the Hobonichi. So do it really similar. Like here, that one says it was all about Victor, and I drew a little. So I do a lot of that. I've been doing that. And here, but more. There you go. So if during the day, while I'm doing different things and I come across a quote, or I hear somebody say something, or they recommend a book or something like that. Let me make sure this is in. Here we go. So if I come across something that somebody says, or a TV show, or I do something, or I can document it. Like, okay. This is one that I did. But what I do in here is illustrate my day. Like I find one thing, like the ants, and this is where I do more art. I find one thing from my day or from the season or whatever. This lag. Did you do anything for the full moon? I did, but I haven't done it in a journal yet. I have it on an index card, and I haven't put it in a journal yet. Victor and I went out there, and I carried him all over the yard. I even walked up and down the street because he really wanted to see the full moon, and we could not see the full moon from my house. The sky was lit up, but I could not see the full moon. Could not see it, and it's bright. Now you can see how full it looks tonight and last night and the night before Tuesday night. But yeah, Wednesday night when it was supposed to be the full moon here, I couldn't see it. I could see it Tuesday night and Thursday night. But the actual night of the full moon, all I could see was the light. The sky was lit up, but where the moon was, a cloud had to have been covering it because I couldn't see it at all. So, but Victor loves the full moon. And when he's here and it's a full moon, me and him go out walking around in the yard, and I'll usually take a picture of it, and me and him talk about it. And he's at that age where it rained here. Yeah. But he asks questions about the sun and the stars and the moon and the grass and plants and animals. And, he's 6, so he asks a lot of questions. And so I try to answer his questions. And it helps when you can actually take them, and you look at stuff. And he was like, but Mimi, I don't see the moon. And I said, well, maybe when your mom takes you home on your way home, y'all will see the moon. And I said, but we can't see it. He said, well, it's not there. I said, no, it's still there. I said, I promise. I said, you see the light? I said, that's coming from the moon. I said, it's still there. It's just right now we can't see it because maybe there are clouds covering it. I said, the clouds are in the way. So we were also out in the yard, and I was trying to teach him how to ride his bicycle without training wheels. He's got it down, but our road is too busy for me to let him ride on the road. So I was trying to teach him how to do it in the grass. And he can ride it. He does really well if you're on like a dirt road or on the concrete or on the road. But trying to ride it in the grass is much harder. So me and him were out, and I'm trying to teach him a few things, a few little like tricks. If he can't get on the bicycle, he can pull up to a step, because he's got a little bit bigger bicycle, and so his feet don't completely touch the ground. Well, my feet don't touch the ground, only my tippy toes when I get on my bicycle. David said, "Will your seat go down?" I said, "No, it's already down." He said, "Do you really need a shorter bicycle?" I said, "Yes, I do." So, but I am hoping, now that probate court's pretty much over, it should be over in about a week or two. We're going to get my dad's truck and get it here and start working on it, because once I can get it roadworthy where I don't have to worry about it, story of your life. Once I can get it, then I'll be throwing my bicycle and Victor's bicycle in the back of the truck. My dad's truck is a big king cab, long bed, but hopefully we won't have to replace the engine in it. But I could throw our bicycles in the back of that, whereas my car, I have a convertible, and it has one of those fin things, so putting a bicycle rack on my car won't work. And David takes his truck to work, but me and Victor can go to the park, take our bicycles, take a picnic, blanket. We can actually, once I get him to a point where I feel safe, where both of us can ride bicycles and he knows the rules of riding the bicycle, not just how to ride the bicycle, then he and I can go, and I want to get a basket for my bicycle. So that's what I'm hoping, is that's what I'm working towards, is that between now, because the cold months here aren't usually super cold. Every now and again we get a little bit of snow, but between now and then, we're going to do it around the neighborhood, or I will do it on the days when David's off, when I can actually use his truck. But unfortunately, me and Victor and David do not fit in the front of his little tiny truck, because Victor's still in a car seat. We'd fit better if we got him a booster seat, which we're going to go start looking at booster seats, because the law here, he still has to be in something, because he's still too short, too little. So I want to be able to take Victor and go do more outdoor stuff, do more stuff while the weather's nice. And then we'll play card games and board games and do art and stuff like that on the days when the weather's yucky, because I get him on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I think, doing more, he's getting bigger and bigger. And now that he's bigger, we'll be able to do a lot more things. It'll get me outside more and out more, which I need, because as my daughter would tell you, I've become a bit of a hermit, and that's not good either. And I'm much more likely to do stuff with my daughter or with David or with Victor than going out and doing it by myself. I used to not be that way. But as I've gotten older, I think my anxiety's gotten a bit worse, and I want to get out of that. So taking Victor places is a really good way to kind of ease into the doing things. And I want to create art more. I want to go outdoors sketching and do stuff more like that. I do a lot of personal journaling, a lot sometimes when things are on my mind. It's more like a brain dump, and I do that in other journals that I don't really show on social media. So journals don't go to waste. I have journals everywhere. Like my morning pages journal is over there. I do. Yeah, I don't know. I just love journaling. Love anything that has to do with art and words, art by themselves, together. Okay, so I've been on here now for about an hour and 15 minutes or so. So does anybody have any questions? Maybe I'll make next year's word journey. This year's word was brave. I think that the year before it was thrive. The year before that, it was positive. I don't know. I really do want it to be more something that has to do with the inner compass thing. I'm still thinking. I don't know. Still thinking. I know I've got an idea, but I don't have the word. The only thing I know for sure is that next year it's going to be about following my inner compass. So other than that, I don't know. Still thinking. Because that encompasses a lot. No pun and some pun intended. It encompasses a lot. I mean, following your inner compass has to do with your purpose, what brings you joy, could be what's inspiring and motivating you, what you're pulled towards, what you're drawn towards. Self-care. Self-care is a good one. I'm still thinking, though. I don't know. Might just make the word compass. I'm not sure. That way, I don't know. I'm still thinking. But I like the idea behind the inner compass thing. Now, if I could just, but I'm sure I'll figure it out between now and the end of the year. I'm sure I'll figure it out. So I've got some work to do on my outline back there. One of the Post-it notes I wrote down. But I got to go get some work done on that. And I have some other things I need to do. I'm going to get my pen out because this is that slick glossy paper. And I'm going to write down the birthdays and stuff in here. And I'm going to, I got to write down my master task list for November because I'm about to do a video for my November setup. And I want to get that stuff done before I film that video. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring things out. I know there is a Peanuts website. I might have to go look on the Peanuts website and see if I can find maybe I'll find a Snoopy B6 calendar there. I just want a B6 monthly Snoopy calendar in the B6 size. But if I can't, I've still got the DIY one, and I'll just get me some Snoopy stickers and decorate the one that I got from Dollar Tree and all kinds of Snoopy stuff. So it's not like a big deal, really. But no questions. I know there's a tiny bit of a lag. I only have 16 of you watching now. I had 20. They have some on Amazon. I'll have to look, Sherry. So, y'all. Yeah, and I'm yawning. You got to charge your phone. Yeah. See, I'm starting to yawn. It's time for me to get some more coffee, and I need to get some stuff done. Thank you. Oh, well, I've actually done a few wine chats. I'm not a beer drinker. My husband likes beer, but I made coffee because David had to go to work. So He's working nights right now. I have a, what is it called? Bailey's. I have Bailey's in my coffee tonight. The adult coffee of choice. Y'all have a good one. I'm going to go get me some more coffee and some more Bailey's, and then I'm going to do some art. I have some journaling to do. And y'all have a good Friday night and a good weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.